All right, all right, all right. What is up, Honey Badger Nation? Got the one and only Mr. Albie Stasek on with us in from the land. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Johnny? Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was good, man. Good weekend. Nice, chilled. Mama, always does her thing. Sure makes it feel pretty special. So it was cool.
Oh, that's great, man. Love it.
Oh, how are things in the land?
Things are good. Busy, man. Came in right out of the gates here. I got like three recruiting appointments. I just got off one. Guy in New York, broker owner, and that's today's 3-way calls and one-on-one recruiting appointments. So it's a busy Tuesday before St. Patrick's Day. Literally, right as I was pulling this up, I was trying to get my corned beef order in.
Oh.
And so I don't know. I hope I'm not going to be too late because I
was about to say, are you too late?
I don't know. We're going to find out. This place that I'm going to, they have the best corned beef in the land, hands down, called Slyman's. And I don't know. We will see.
You are a regular there, so hopefully you get that preferred slide in. Make sure you get your order taken care of.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Nice. What's up, everybody? You guys tuning in, welcome. We'll see if cuz Kinder joins us. He had a little emergency dentist appointment he had to get to.
Oh, man, I hate the emergency one.
Yeah, I had a good call. We were on a live this morning with a couple giants in the industry, and then he was immediately on his way to the dentist.
Jeez.
Oh man. So what's happening? How are you guys seeing how are things kind of business wise there in the land?
I mean, the sales are starting to rack up. We inched past a better this first quarter than last. At least that's what it's looking like, before March is over. I don't know that we want to say that too fast, but it's appearing that we're going to beat last year's as far as just sales and revenue. So that's good. But we're still running into the low inventory challenge that everyone else is. It's super frustrating. In all price ranges. It used to be, like in the higher price ranges, there was going to be more inventory available. But even in, the 500,000-600,000 range, there's, we got multiple offers firing off, and that's a lot of money for Cleveland. So like 500-600 may not be, real expensive home in like Dallas or whatever, but in Cleveland, it's you're getting into that higher end higher price end, I should say. So I don't know, man. We'll have to see.
What message is kind of resonating? I know you're tinkering like crazy with things. Anything that you guys are seeing that's kind of getting a grip, getting some traction?
Yeah, I mean, we're still tweaking on the cash offer at this point. I just reshot the commercial yesterday morning, and we're just tweaking on that. When Andrea gets back, we're going to be working on the ads and getting some new ads up and running with some. We're going to try Google pay-per-click next. The Facebook stuff just wasn't giving us the conversion we wanted on it, so we're going to keep cranking on it, and we won't stop till we crack the code. But
right, for sure,
that's kind of just what it is. It's part of marketing.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody, man? Thank you guys for tuning in. If you've got any questions, anything on your mind, throw it into the comments, and Mr. Albie and myself will help you guys get unstuck and keep moving forward here as we're wrapping up the first quarter of the year, which is, I can't even believe saying that out loud. Just, it's unbelievable how fast this year is flying by.
Yeah, it is. I agree with that. It's
man, oh man.
Yep, been a good first quarter. Love the getting a little bit of more of that sun down in St. Thomas. What a trip that was!
Unbelievable.
So much
How was
fun.
how was the night in Megan's Bay there on the boat with the mountains and all the surrounding? How was that?
Unbelievable. It's probably, I mean, it's probably tied with my favorite bay to stay in, with the Honeymoon Cove one that's off Water Island.
Yep.
And the reason I like that one is because they have that really cool beach bar where you can scoot up there, and it kind of reminds you of like Soggy Dollar a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's more of like, it's a smaller cove, and so a lot of the boats are kind of moored off a little closer together. So we were able to, it was more of like a community feel to it, you know, and swim around the boat. Megan's Bay is a little bigger.
Right.
And I know that you saw those yachts outside of there. I mean, those were not small.
No.
I mean, 150-foot yacht. There was like 2 or 3 of them over there. So those were our neighbors in Megan's Bay, and in Honeymoon Cove. It was, you know, 50, 60, 80-foot boats, smaller, you know, but it was just, yeah, I mean, both of them had a different feel, but the view at night of Megan's Bay, just stunning.
Yeah.
Everything gets lit up. All the houses are lit up. And so, you know, it's a mountain. So all you're seeing are the houses up on the mountain all lit. You don't get that view from the other cove. But, yeah, man, it was beautiful. What was your highlight?
Sitting out there at the house and looking out. So we only got one angle, right? We got to see the other side of the mountain, and just sitting there that one of the nights, and just sitting back on the couch, and just how, I don't know, some good tunes were playing, and, you know, the whole vibe. It was magical. Really,
I'll tell you, it was, I've been on some really great trips and vacations and whatnot. That hands down was my favorite. So much so I just booked a trip going back. First week of April, I'm going down there to get my scuba certification.
Oh, cool.
And so I was going to scoot over to Puerto Rico to see Mike and Jay. And I was telling Jay, just checking dates with him and saying, all right, I'm going to be flying into St. Thomas, like basically Monday morning. And I'm going to get, you know, pool work done, then 2 days in the open water. And then I was going to come over like Thursday to hang out with them for a day and a half or whatever. And he's like, scuba certification, that sounds fun. I'm in. So I guess Jay's going to fly over and get certified with me. So
that's so cool.
It'll be fun. So one of my bucket list things is taking a vacation for about a week by myself, with no other human beings. You know, it's just me, because I don't think I've ever done that. And so I thought that this was gonna be it, until Jay was like, you know, I'm coming, and I'm totally fine with him coming. It was fine, but that I'll just have to schedule another trip. But yeah, the more I'm down there, the more I'm hooked, and I just want to keep going back, because it's truly heaven on earth down there.
It is.
So
I love it. And I just feel comfortable on that island. You know, we've been there so many times, and being able to bounce around, and I cannot wait. And you guys, if you have not checked it out, we are masterminding there in September, the 27th and 28th. KinderStasek.com. If you have not register. That will, this ain't a scarcity marketing tactic. It will sell out, because we're just limited on the space that we have available. And, you know, the islands aren't going to lift the restrictions as fast as the states will. And it was pretty cool, man, talking to our captain on that Tuesday. We went, you know, we went hopping around. We went all the way around St. John's, and he said we were sitting there at the taco bar and waiting on the taco order.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, he's just kind of educating on us. And he said, hey, you know, when they first opened the restrictions, they had 24 cases of COVID related, you know, death there on the island. He said, then that's when they shut everything right back down. And he said, since they put the the restrictions to get on the island where you have to have the test 5 days prior, zero.
Wow.
And so, it's strict. You got to have that test. You get off, you got to check your temperature, they check all your paperwork before you can even get in the airport. So, it really is legit. And I see them continuing to do that for the foreseeable future. So just as you guys are preparing, plan on probably have to have a test before you can get on the island, which was no big deal at all.
Well, the cool thing is, and this is the difference between there and Puerto Rico, is that Puerto Rico is requiring a molecular COVID test, which is the more accurate. It also takes longer to get back versus the rapid, which is not molecular. And they want it within 72 hours of you getting the results back, which does pose a challenge of getting into Puerto Rico. We've actually found a little way around it. But what's nice with St. Thomas, if anybody's thinking of I need to give the getaway, highly recommend it. It's easy to get in and out of. It's a U.S. territory. It's a U.S., it's part of the state, so you don't need a passport. And all you need is a rapid test that's 5 days young, easy. And if you don't have that or don't want to get that, if you've gotten tested in what's it called? You have the antibody. If you have an antibody test that basically shows that you had it and you got the antibody, 4 months or younger, you can show that and use it to get in. So it's much.
I wonder what they'll do with the vaccine if you have been able to have that.
Oh, is that the other one?
Maybe. I would think they would give some street cred to that.
Yeah, you would think, right?
Yeah,
For
sure.
I don't remember seeing that part.
No.
So, yeah.
It's good stuff, man. I am super excited to get back down there in September, and I know we're going to try to get over to Puerto Rico as well, and then get back to St. Thomas one more time before the end of the year. So, man, you're talking about that one trip all by yourself. And hey, guys, listening in. I mean, Al and I will sit here and shoot the shit the whole time. We love getting catching up a little bit, but we definitely would love to jump into any questions that you guys have. Agent attraction focused. If you do want to talk business, anything else, please throw questions into the comments, and we'll dive in deep for you guys. But you talked about going on that trip all by yourself. So I'm going through strategic coach program this year, and so we're talking about their free days, their focus days, and their buffer days, and their free days. They break them down, right? They call them gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal type days. And what you were talking about would be you would have a gold medal free day, meaning how many days, 24-hour period, could you go by yourself without doing any work, right? And so that's what it's called, considered a free day. And it's pretty cool. We know the rejuvenation, how important it is to rejuvenate, to recharge, to be able to stay focused, and how important that is. But it's pretty cool. A gold medal free day is either you or just you and your significant other in no business. That's considered a gold medal free day. The silver medal is family and friends. And then bronze is you're just running a bunch of errands. You're, maybe soccer practice, maybe off to hockey or whatever, right? But the key is no work, zero work in that period. And they talk about how hard it is for visionary, bee-driven entrepreneurs to not do that, right? And so it really is. I mean, think about it. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to travel. And then you're like, shit, man, 5 hours on the flight, I can get some serious work done, So you have to, it takes a little bit of discipline to let go and not do any work.
Well, yeah. And I think that for a lot of us, it's breaking a habit that's been formed over years of when you have, I remember, you remember this when it was a picture of Mike and Jay in a plane together next to each other, laptops open, and they were talking about net time. no extra time.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to reflect back because that was a badge of honor, like, oh yeah, I'm bringing the laptop on the plane. I'm getting my shit done. I got no extra time right now. I'm in the, and I've been able to, I can confidently say that I've started to peel myself away from that mindset of grind. And this was, again, my favorite. There was a lot of reasons why this was one of my favorite vacations. But aside from the fact that, like, I think I got like legit more relaxation time in, to where, like, what you were saying is you're just looking at Megan's Bay and just totally vegging out, relaxing. I was able to do that a lot. I didn't care about where my phone, whether it was even on or not. Like, that's when
Yeah. And the power in that is that, so over time, what happens, right, is our creativity, it gets zapped, right? So it's like when you're constantly on, it's like that battery in the background and your battery is always draining. When you're able to fully unplug, it allows your creativity to grow, so that when you do come back and you're ready to get after it, you can solve and you can make decisions quicker. And so when our creativity and we're exhausted, sometimes it's harder for us to make decisions quicker, right? We just got so much shit going on in our head. We're exhausted. Like, what do I do? And so when that creativity, think about it, when you come back recharged, boom, 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 right? You're on point. You're making quick decisions. You're sharp. And that's what those recharge, those free days allow you to do. So it's pretty cool. Hey, all right. So T's asking, this is kind of on the buyer seller side of things. Albie, kind of nuggets, intel, follow up, nurture systems. Like what do you guys have? What are you using? What's working on the follow up side of things?
So we literally just switched from Commissions Inc. to Follow Up Boss. And when I say just, I'm talking just in the last 3 weeks. We've made the conversion. And so we use, YLOPO in combination with Follow Up Boss. And it's been an uphill walk or hike, if you want to call it, full of some ups and some downs, just learning curves and whatnot. And we are starting to now see traction. We're running Commissions Inc. with it. So as far as like follow-ups and nurturing, I mean, they have campaigns that are built into it. Obviously, we tried to segment our leads into, hot leads, which if you're working a hot lead, by the way, what I'm saying right now goes same exact. If you're working working on agent attraction, the hot lead should be getting messaged from you probably once a week. The nurture might be once or twice a month, and that nurture piece can be automated, at least on the buyer seller side of things. But right now we're using Follow Up Boss for that.
Cool.
I'm not endorsing it, other than I'm getting really good feedback from our agents, who are generally not shy about giving us their opinion on stuff.
And they like it.
It's been great.
And they like it, right?
They love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is that's the feedback that I get from everybody across the country that's using it. I got Stace and Reedy on it. They're kind of they're who I stay plugged in with, just because I work at such a high level with them. And man, I mean, shit, think about it. Reedy has used Tiger Leads, Boomtown, Day One, Commission Inc., Top Producer. I mean, name them all, right? We've done them all.
Yeah.
And he absolutely, this is his favorite, is Follow Up Boss.
Oh, so how long did you move him onto it?
Beginning of last year.
Oh, cool. So all right. So
they're loving it.
We're
they absolutely love it.
Good.
You see Kathy's question here. Kathy, what's some basic steps to attracting local agent team members or partners? She's got 2 companies putting ads welcoming their agents every day. Just want to have a plan for local recruiting.
Yeah, I'm looking for that message. I read it earlier. Where'd it go? Disappeared on me. As you were reading that, I was reading, I think it was Rick. Was it Rick? No, not Rick Dillon's. It was someone else's. Yeah, it was Allie. Would you mind reading that again? Because I was in the
Yeah.
middle
So Kathy's asking, what are some basic steps to attracting local agents, teams, members, or partners? She's got 2 companies putting ads, helping their agents every day. Just want to plan for local recruiting.
Yeah. I mean, the first step is always making that list. Put your make the list of the people that you have the best relationships with and the tightest relationships, because those are going to be the easiest ones to talk to. They already know, like, and trust you. And so, and that should go right on your wealth chart. If you don't have the wealth chart set up, then that would be your first step. And then put your top 50 or 100, however big your network of those agents are. And then, start loving on them. Start loving on them with social media likes, comments, stuff like that.
Get in the algorithm.
From there, flip those into conversations and DMs. It's just, start having conversations with them. And usually the conversation will almost always go to, how's business going, and of course what we do on all of our calls is I don't really get on a call with anybody who hasn't answered the question on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your business this year? Because we want to take the temperature and find out, where they're at. And if they say it's a 4 or a 5 or a 6, the question is, what's stopping you from getting it to a 10? And that's going to uncover either a pain point or something missing in the opportunity bucket. It's either a missing opportunity or it's a pain, something, a rock in the shoe that's holding them back. And then at that point, we really stick to what we can do to help them grow their business by partnering with us. The EXP value proposition is always second in line. We stick to, partnering with us. If you were to partner with us, here's what it would look like. And that's where we stay in that space. Of course, when we get further down the line, well, what does it look like to partner with us? You would do it through the EXP platform. By the way, there's this really cool thing called stock and revenue share that come along with it. Boom. And that just kind of opens up the conversation. Are you open-minded about growing your business, or is what you're doing are you going to stick to exactly what you're doing? Because the truth is, if they're telling you they're at a 5 or a 6 out of 10 of their business, something needs to change, or nothing's going to change. Are you finding,
hey, are you open-minded? Are you growth-minded? Obviously, they're going to say yes, but just trying to uncover and see if they really are of growth mind. Are you seeing that if you get a feeling that they're really not, that there's probably not an opportunity that they're going to move forward?
Well, keep in mind that they're either going to move away from pain or move toward opportunity. And most people are trying to move away from some pain, Usually of course, you have your opportunists out there for sure. I literally just met a young lady on the call last week, and she's actually from Puerto Rico, lives in Puerto Rico. And it was the only person that I've ever gotten on a call that answered that question 10 out of 10. And I was like, I saw that in the notes, and I'm like, oh shit, where am I going to go on this call? This lady told Nick that on a scale of 1 to 10, she'd rate her business a 10. I'm like, oh boy. So it ended up turning into a great call. I'm actually, after I get certified, I'm flying over to Puerto Rico to go have lunch, her and her husband and Jay. But it turned out for her, she wasn't moving away from any pain because she had no pain. So it was the opportunity to gain, which is an opportunity. And so when you start talking stock and revenue share to an opportunist, then they're going to see another way that they can help grow their business. So you kind of have to feel it out. I just think for the most part, I'm talking to most real estate agents who are moving away from some kind of pain.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, right? You know what you're looking for. You know what to hone in on, and you know how to put some pressure on that pain too.
Yeah, the number one, and John, you know this from just being in the coaching space, but the number one rock in the shoe of real estate agents as a whole is they don't know where their next transaction is coming from because they really haven't, either studied or figured out marketing. And once you understand and figure out marketing, and you have revenue coming in that you can invest into marketing, you never have to worry about where your next transaction is coming from. It becomes a game at that point.
Right.
So if we know that's true, and we do, because we've been doing this so long and interviewing so many agents and talking to so many, we know that that's the number one pain point. that's another one of the value propositions that you can add to your bucket, if you will. You don't have to come up with even any kind of technology, because everyone gets a KV course site. So we're just leveraging the free KV course site. We're paying somebody to build them out some funnels to actually get stuff coming into them, and just trying to create a done for you solution to their number one problem, which is they want more leads, And so, get creative, think like a coach, think like, if you were truly partnered with them, like you were their broker or team leader, what would you do to help them? And most of the time we know that, it's lead generation that most of these agents need and want. It's just that they won't do, even with a free site, the heavy lifting of what needs to happen on the marketing piece to drive traffic to it, which we can help with.
What so the other question, coming in after Kathy's was, just in a market where, the old model, the old brokerage model is kind of the dominant force. How do you break through that barrier and that, perceived wall of belief that the marketplace may have? What's kind of a 2 cents on that?
Man, I don't have necessarily a whole lot to say about it, because the truth of the matter is, what I've experienced is that there's certain areas, certainly I've seen more in Ohio than I have anywhere else where I'm at, we are kind of like that. When I say we, I'm talking about like the Northeast Ohio, Cleveland area. There's a lot of just kind of set in their ways. It's a culture thing, and you have to understand culture is all about the environment, and we know how powerful that is. So it's tough to break in, and there's areas that are, Youngstown is about an hour and a half or so from here, and it's just a blue collar, very traditional, old school type of a town. And I remember doing we tried to do a Double Your Business live in there. And this is somewhere where we could pile 60, 70 people, like down in Columbus or Dayton, or even here in Cleveland. We can get 60, 70 people in the room. We had 2 people that registered for that webinar, And so there's a mindset that starts with, the leadership there. So I guess what I'm saying is that it can be tough, real tough in certain areas. Toledo was another one that we struggled with, and these are typically areas that have a very strong presence with an old school, maybe mom and pop independent company that's been around forever and everyone knows their name. And it's even Keller Williams has tough times breaking into those exact, markets. So it's not going to be that easy, but I would say that if you were to do it, the best way to do it and see some massive successes, you're going to need to find a leader. You need to find an influencer in that particular market to partner with, get them over, and it'll make the heavy lifting a lot easier.
Man, I'm listening to Adam Grant's new book, Think Again, and I'm on the chapter to where they're talking about, how a couple things. There was a way, where this black musician in the South was able to turn some really high ups in the KKK to leave the KKK, abandon it, and really get people to move away from them. And he talks about essentially just asking questions and kind of rolling with it and not being defensive, and just like to the point, man, it's like, how can you hate me? You don't even know me, right? Like, how can you hate EXP? You don't even know EXP. And so I would recommend, that I can't tell who asked that question, man. I would recommend, man, dive into Adam Grant's book, Think Again. He gives techniques. He's also talking about, they're using Red Sox and Yankees fans as an example. Like, why do the Red Sox, Yankees suck in the 7th inning, even when they're playing the Cleveland Indians, right? they're not even playing the Yankees, but yet the fans are yelling Yankees suck. And so it's just like, just talking about how, you know, the culture, like you were talking about, right? How it's been brainwashed for so many years. And he's just talking about the science behind it. Essentially, his whole point is you've got to be a scientist. You got to take a scientific approach. And how do you do that? You look for the data, you ask questions, and you get to truth. And that's what the book is really, really talking about. So you got to find the common ground. You got to agree on things. And then you got to, you know, have one or two key points that kind of shows your case to where they kind of become open-minded about it. And it's a fascinating book, man. I've listened to a couple chapters a couple times, and that listening to that would help solve that market problem, that market situation.
Love that.
So formulate a system for my downline for nurturing the maybe agents that I've spoke to. I'm good at my own follow-up, but would like to have follow-ups. Any ideas? Al, we talk about this all the time. If it's not duplicatable, it doesn't work. So if you've got a good system that's working for you, give that system to your people in your downline. If it's working for you, it's duplicatable, give it to them. I mean, that's, you know, Brian Carruthers 101, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got something working, let everybody know. Let them use it. Give it to them.
By the way, speaking of follow-up systems and stuff like that, did you interview Andre LaFountain?
Yeah. It's one of the great expert mentors lives we've done.
Yeah.
Him and Dan Hillsman.
Watch that, and you are going to get nugget after nugget about follow-up. And you know, he was our ISA for, I think, just better part of a year and a half. And he was just so good with his follow-up, just Mr. Automatic, and has all the scripts. And these are a lot of these scripts are scripts that, you know, you can send text messages, you can send them as an email, you can send them as a Facebook follow-up. I think that what Reese always talks about is give your people the handles to the luggage. Just give them all of your follow-up scripts, so at least they have that again.
Yeah.
A couple people are asking, Kathy, you want to know what the name of that book was again?
Think Again by Adam Grant.
Sure. And
he's
black musician in the South.
You got it. He is you know, he wrote originals, Give and Take. I mean, he's just an incredible thinker, incredible author. He challenges his own thinking by going through the whole book and opens up, you know, some of the
able to turn
spots that he had. So Think Again, Adam Grant.
Kathy, you want to know what the name of that book was again? I can't reply back to this without
by Adam Grant.
firing off. There we go. Sorry.
No worries. Let's see. Trying to figure out how to streamline and brand my marketing materials. Do you have any specific tips for marketing branding regarding domain name, email, etc.? I don't know who's asking that question as it comes to branding. I would tell you to reach out to the one and only Holly Kitchens. That's what she does. I mean, she's Agent Authority Academy, branded agent. I mean, she's all about the brand consistency and creating, you know, the audit and understanding how you need to position and brand yourself. So I would, you know, she loves to use Bryant and Aaron Melton as a great example. If we go look at all of their stuff, it'd be great to see prior to what it is now. And that's just consulting and working with her. She can give you some tips and pointers, but I would just message Holly specifically as it relates to anything branding and brand consistency related. Hey, are you guys still doing a lot of videos? I know Joel talks a lot about that. A lot of video in your follow-up, personalized video follow-up.
Yeah, we do promote that, and that's another plug for Follow-Up Boss. Correct me if I'm wrong, John, but doesn't it has the that video messaging system built right into it?
I don't know. If it does, that's great. I thought you guys kind of were incorporating BombBomb as well.
That's
Maybe?
what it has. I think it's got BombBomb
tied into it.
Just
Okay,
connects
cool.
with BombBomb. I don't know if it's included, but I believe that it just has a feature to it, a BombBomb feature to it. Maybe it's not BombBomb, but it's just like BombBomb.
Gotcha.
That was a big reason why Joel loved it. You know, as soon as he saw that part, he got excited over that.
Yeah,
So,
he preaches that from the rooftop. Video, personalized immediately in your follow up, to try to put that human factor into it. So, what's up, Mr. Hillsman? Yeah, for all of you guys, the expert mentors that Al was talking about, you can go to emlreplays.com, and all of the expert mentors live replays are right there. And I would watch Andre's and I would watch Dan Hillsman's. If you're really serious about growing your agent attraction efforts, those are probably the two best expert mentors on agent attraction to get the fundamentals, to get the framework, to get the foundation, to be able to build upon. Are those two expert mentors that we did. Albie, agents in mid-tier 8+ million, why would you recommend Follow Up Boss versus KV Core? Or would you?
I don't really have, I mean, the reason that we're not using KV Core is because we have a team of 40 agents, and we need a platform that everybody can tap into, and where all the leads go in the same spot in a team version. I see people having a lot of success as individual agents with KV Core. So I don't know that it has anything to do with where you're at on your production. But if I were to, kind of just take a stab at what you're saying, Follow Up Boss, I think it may have some more bells and whistles as it relates to the follow-up and the video thing that we were just talking about, being able to send video messages right from through the platform and whatnot. So it may have a couple more bells and whistles, intuitive, whatever. But, I always say stick to what you can get that's included for free, which is that platform. And
sure,
you make that work until the point where you can't make it work, then maybe look at something different. The reason we moved to Follow Up Boss away from Commissions Inc. is because Follow Up Boss, it gets along better with YLOPO. The two work hand in hand much more efficiently and cleaner than they do Commissions Inc. And every person I've known that has made that change, whenever they're talking to us when we were running Commissions Inc., they're like, dude, you got to go Follow Up Boss. Dude, you got to go Follow Up Boss. It's going to be night and day. And they were right. So I don't know why one talks better than the other, but we're still setting agents. When I meet an individual single agent who's not coming on our team, I set them up with KV Core. We build a funnel for them, and we start funneling leads into their KV Core individually, as if they're not part of the team.
Perfect. Prospect is asking a question, why not go to 100% brokerage with minimum fees? Talked about stock and revenue share, but told me she can go buy stock and no big deal for the small discount. What would you say to that person?
Yeah, I mean, what that tells me right there is that the gate of the mind is closed.
Yep.
If somebody objects to getting free stock and discounted stock, and they don't see the value in that, there's one of two things. They're either ignorant and they really don't want to know the truth. Okay, so they're going to stick to that because change is too painful to think of than wanting to think one step further than what they're talking about. Or they're completely closed-minded and they don't want to know what they don't want to know. It's one of those two things, or both. And so when I personally do that, I just basically pull up my enterprise and show them that I've actually paid $27,000 into the stock equity program, and the stock is sitting at about $1 million right now. And I invite them to say, show me where you've put $27,000 and turned it into $1 million in 3 years. And there ain't nobody going to have an answer for that. And so if they're still going to, again, this is assuming this person has a closed mind. And I really don't take the conversation much past that. I just don't. I like what you said earlier, John, about asking questions, not getting defensive, and just, smiling confidently and knowing that, we have a solution to their problem. It's going to be up to them whether they want to admit they have one or not.
Yeah. think the big thing too, and our agents are guilty of this as well, right? They get somebody, they get a human that they're talking to, and they think they've got a live one, right? They think I've got somebody I can recruit, or I've got a real buyer, I got a real seller, and that's just not true, right? You have to ask a few more questions to really qualify and determine if this is a real one. And Jay always says, hey, if you got the hook in and they're not legit, let them go and move on.
Yeah. We call it the same thing with sellers, when it's the same psychology with a seller, we want to work with sellers who are cooperative, who are going to trust you, who are going to trust and do what you say they should do versus the opposite because they don't trust that what you're talking about. If it's the same thing with those, I would do a takeaway. Like, sounds to me like you're probably this isn't the right time for you to sell based upon what you've shared with me, and I'll take it right away, and I get it. Like especially if you're just trying to get your first or second or third sponsor, nobody wants to hear that. Like, no, man, I want to flip them around, but sometimes that's just what needs to happen. That takeaway. And so,
yeah, that's good. I know seeing kind of an increase of this, but T's asking, creating personal Facebook groups with your direct sponsors and direct downline, direct communication, aligning them with your, personal, mentor mentee program. What's your take on that? And I know we've seen it, right? You've got all smaller groups have their own little smaller tight network. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Anytime that you can be a leader and organize the group, and but they have to be committed to joining it, and that's the biggest thing in any team or brokerage or whatever, is getting everybody committed to actually showing up. We do a huddle every morning, and we have 45 people on the team, and I would say about at the very most 9 or 10 huddle up. Now, we're going to be there no matter what at 8:15, Monday through Friday. We don't miss a beat. We're going to be there, but it's up to them to commit and see the value in it and then join. And the truth of it is, it's not what they're going to get out of it. It's what they can add to it. And that's what makes those huddles in the morning great. That's what's going to make this Facebook group that you're talking about great. It's the participation in it. So I'm not discouraging anybody from doing that. I think that if you're going to do it, you need to be consistent with it, and or just leverage ours, and call, Honey Badger Nation doesn't belong to us. It belongs to everyone here. And so you think of that as your group, and it's super powerful. People are helping people and collaborating every single day on this platform. But that, it's a good benchmark. Consistently putting the value up there, consistently communicating with your group and your audience in there, going Facebook Live in there once in a while. So we have Stasek Group is our private group. It's actually called Stasek Group Mastermind or whatever, and that's just it's a private group just for our agents, and going live in there on a regular basis, something that we do just to keep the engagement up there. So I do like that idea. The only downside I would say to it, and this is not downside, this is more of a challenge, is that there's so many groups out there that people belong to. So do something that you're going to have, be able to stand out and make sure that they're engaging and hopping in there and adding value.
100%. Love it. Love it. Love it. Appreciate you guys asking the questions. Definitely not only helps you guys get clear, but it helps a lot of folks on the call get clear as well. So really good questions. Stock making a little bit of a rebound last couple of days.
Amen. Thank you.
Sure. Glenn hanging with Uncle G kind of helped get some awareness.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was on the mastermind call. Speaking of that, another way to do it, instead of doing it through a Facebook page, is just do a Zoom, get a couple people committed to hopping on the Zoom. Nick Krem had a group of about 20 agents on last night. invited me on to do a little bit of training with them. And Nick was going through, some EXP news. Nick does a really good job in that group, by the way, of starting it out with positive focus, moves into any EXP news, and then keeps it rolling as far as the agenda. And one of the things they showed was Uncle G up there with his wife. I don't know what her name is, Alina.
Yeah.
Who publicly declared she's joining EXP, and I know there were rumors going around with it either, but that was pretty cool. So yeah, that may have something to do with it, but yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah,
cool.
Well, everybody wish Mr. Kinder some luck. He's going to be able to come over there and eat some corn because he's getting that dentist.
He told me, he's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna think. He goes, I did something, chipped a couple things here. I'm like, ooh, brother. He's like, him and the dentist, like a revolving door for him. The old dentist office.
He needs a nap. That boy needs a nap. I mean, we went 8 straight days in St. Thomas, and then he came back. He had DJ comes over. Then he had 87 Kevin come over. Then his parents, both his sons came in.
Full throttle. He
needs to hibernate for a little bit.
He hadn't slowed down, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up here with Mr. We got Brian struggling with what to say to prospect who said they would join and are now not engaging as much. I want to have something to say other than, hey, when are you joining? Like you said, how would you re-engage somebody that's kind of fallen cold?
The re-engagement is all about, I think, like EXP news and being able to share some news stories of what's going on with the company. We just had our fourth quarter and 2020 numbers came out. We beat the analysts. We beat the numbers again. That's probably the real, one of the reasons for the stock going up is profitability is up.
Sure.
Revenue's up. Agent count is up. I think we're about to, this month of March, we're probably going to break a record for number of agents recruited. I want to say Dave Kennard said he was shooting. It was looking like it was going to be over 3,000.
We had almost 1,100 last week.
Yeah, I think it was on one of the calls that they do with the alpha call,
yeah,
whatever.
One of the group calls, leadership calls.
I thought he was at 1,600 or something like that. It was only 10 days into the month, and so I could be wrong. I might have heard that wrong, but yeah, that's what they're shooting for, and so yeah, investors are loving it. I would say that. And that happens to me all the time. I had somebody who was just red hot, ready to roll, ready to rock, and all of a sudden now they're cold. But they're cold because they're working on their next thing. They maybe made the decision that now's not the right time, and they're on to their next thing. I would say just stay engaged and don't just share EXP stuff. I would share share other trainings and stuff like that you think might be valuable to what they specifically are trying to solve. If you see something out there, share it. So
yeah, buddy.
Juan, congratulations, brother. 4,500 last month. Love it.
All right, brother.
All right.
Well, I appreciate you, and
Appreciate you.
Keep rocking, doing your thing, and appreciate all of you guys jumping in. If you have any questions, hit us up. That's what we're here for. If the mastermind is on your radar, get registered. That's all I can say. I know we'll always have those, hey, last minute want to jump in, but I'm telling you guys, we're going to be restricted on space. So if you are coming, get your spot and get your hotel room booked there at the Ritz so you can stay on property on site with us. And it's going to be fun.
Awesome. Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Have a great week.